Download the BCSN Plus app today. Visit bcsnnation.com for details.
Rocket Nation and everybody else who's listening, we're incredibly excited to be able to head down to Boca Raton for the Bush's Bowl of Beans again, and this will be just a tremendous opportunity for us. I mean, what a great chance here for any of you who live in the Midwest or the Northwest or the Northeast to get back down to some sunny weather for a little bit. We're going to enjoy those 4 days and that part of it as well. But we certainly got some work to do. We have a really, really, really outstanding opponent, coached by some men who I've known for a long time, actually. As a high school coach, I got to meet them and know them when they were recruiting my area. So I know the excellence that these guys approach the game with as well, and I know their players will reflect that. But we're really, really interested in going down there and putting our best foot forward, and at the same time, really having a great experience, and we know that the bowl is going to roll that out for us. This is ironically the third one of these that we've been to, and I say ironically because even though I wasn't part of the staff for the first one, I was actually there for the first one. Philip Ely was the quarterback for the Rockets that day, and Philip Ely was my quarterback in high school at Plant High School, and he won 2 state championships for me and is really kind of the reason that I ended up coming here. Philip went to Alabama for 2 years and won 2 national championships as a backup at Alabama, but told me he wanted to see if he could compete and play a little bit. And so I said, well, this guy Jason Candle keeps asking me about you every year. He hasn't given up. He hasn't stopped. And he said, Coach, I always loved that guy. He said, that's where I want to go. So Jason Kendall wasn't really the head coach yet when he did it. It was just the coordinator at that point. So Philip came up here, tore his ACL, but then had a great 11-2 season after that. And with that season, was able to actually move on, get a cup of coffee in the NFL, and and now he lives in North Georgia. But that was the moment that Coach Candle, actually in Boca Raton, on the practice field, that was the moment that Coach Candle asked me if I wanted to coach here, to which I told him no. And that's when Coach Brian Wright was hired here, who is also a very good friend of mine. And with Brian being hired here, every year Coach would kind of extend an opportunity for me to coach here again. And I would tell him, Coach, like, I really only want to coach the quarterbacks. And he's like, well, I can't give you the quarterback job. You gave me somebody else. And finally, Brian took a head coaching job at Pittsburgh State, and Coach came down to Tampa, and he really didn't ask any questions. He's like, January 17th, that's when we're going to start, and we roll from there. So my connection to the Boca Raton Bowl is actually very significant. I sat there in the rain for that first one through every single moment, saw Philip Ely on the podium with the championship there of that bowl game, and then experienced it for myself actually in 2022, coaching these young men here are kind of more current Toledo Rockets. So that's a little personal side story for me, but how that came about. But I'm like super excited, not for me. I'm super excited for our young people, and I think our young people are really charged and energized for this. I think we had, obviously, with Coach Kendall leaving, we had a firecracker, a brick of firecrackers that took off in all different directions. And I think as a testament to our young people, as you'll see here in a few minutes, they kind of all the next day like rallied this thing together and really put back a unified group that was ready to say, let's go do this thing. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Huge challenge in front of us, but I've watched all the history of Toledo Rockets, and Toledo Rockets never back down from a challenge, and we won't be the first ones to do that. We're going to give it everything that we possibly can, and know that it's going to be a great experience. So.
All right, questions?
You talked about, hi Coach, my name is Emma.
Hi Emma.
With all the expectations for this team and just the chaos that's happened, just as you said, it would have been really easy for this team to kind of bury its head in the sand and, again, just describe more about just the testament it says to this team to want to rally around this bowl opportunity and just rally around you as their
No doubt.
coach.
Well, make no mistake, this is Jason Kendall's team still. Like, he's the one who put together the culture that would say hell no to an opportunity to opt out. That would never happen in this group. Never. Well, I don't think it would ever happen with the culture that's been created in this whole program, going back many, many years to all those others that have competed. And not only is it, a no to that we're not going to do that, it is a full-fledged yes that we're going to move forward with everything that we possibly can have for this game. So the idea that you said of these guys rallying together certainly is a testament to them first and foremost. Like, this is a player-owned program and always has been. But the testament to that is the culture that's been set before then. As I said, when I had the opportunity, and I thank Mr. Blair for the opportunity for sure, like, what a great opportunity for me. And I'm not talking about a professional opportunity. I'm talking about an opportunity to be closer to players that sometimes was out of my sphere of influence, and to have that opportunity on a day-to-day basis to stand in front of them and steer this ship. And to me, this ship, like, it's interesting what it is at Toledo. Like, it might be the most efficient, fastest moving ship. It might not always look like the best ship, but that thing is always working and always moving, and all the pieces are working in one place. So I'm just really, really very proud and grateful to be able to stand in front of these incredible young men that Jason Kendall gave me the opportunity to do by bringing me here in the first place, and then Mr. Blair and the administration has entrusted me to do.
You're playing an ACC opponent in the bowl game for the second straight year, obviously after that crazy overtime win last year. But I mean, just how do you think your team will be tested in this matchup, and just what do you hope your team gets from this experience?
Yeah, we're going to really be tested as a very, very good football team, all three phases of the game. We've had opportunities since it came out yesterday to really, do what's a surface dive, but really a deep dive, and we're going to go deeper into that. But it's really a great challenge. It's a great football team. They are well coached, and they play really, really hard. And my charge to my players is not really even comparison to them, but can we play in an unparalleled effort rate? Like, can our effort rate, I don't know, compared to an opponent, just never be surpassed because it's at the highest that we can possibly play. So the expectation coming out of this experience is that how can we play after a great season of 8-4 season, but disappointment that we didn't do what we had to do to get into the MAC championship? How can we play a game at a championship fervor with this level at this moment? How can we leave a legacy of 9-4 for the 2025 Toledo Rockets, put some pictures on the wall in there that people will remember this team for a long time? But can we play in a way that everybody who's watching bowls says this team plays with unparalleled effort, and they do that for 60 straight minutes?
Robert, just in the big sweep of your life story as a football coach, obviously one of the great legends in campus sports history, 6 successful seasons here. I was just kind of curious, looking back on these 6 seasons, how do you kind of characterize them? Rewarding? Would you have always wondered if you hadn't kind of taken this gamble? How do you kind of see these 6 seasons at Toledo, just kind of your life? Have these been pretty rewarding?
So, not to get like real philosophical, I'm an English guy. I taught English for a long time, for 30 years. But when I was 55 years old when Jason Kendall said, come here to Toledo, right? And most 55-year-olds are not kind of reinventing themselves at that point. You're kind of doing what you're doing and riding that out. I love the process of reinvention. And I also love the process of chaos. Like, I love uncertainty. So whereas a lot of our guys were, you could see it in their eyes, my point to them was, like, you can bask in uncertainty. Why can you do that? Because if you do something that you really, really care about with a golden heart, and you do it with a full heart, the uncertainty is going to end in a way that's very favorable for you. And I said, I'm 61 years old. I can only tell you that because it's happened over and over and over again for me. And I can only state that as fact because of that. And I feel like sometimes in uncertainty, if we don't know what the result is going to be, sometimes if we haven't really put into it what we needed to, we're worried about what the result's going to be. But I wrote myself a sentence when I left Jesuit, which was really emotional for me, like just like it was for Jason the other day. Like, poured my heart and soul into every single young person there and every single person that crossed our path there. And I wrote a sentence that said, and this was for young men, so an honest man on a genuine journey will always end up where he's supposed to be. An honest man on a genuine journey will always end up where he's supposed to be. And I use that quote to recruit sometimes too, because they're scared. How's this going to work out? And at the end of the day, the answer is, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I know it's going to work out good. Because an honest person who is truly on this life search of doing something, if you're doing that in a genuine way with a golden heart, my life experience in 61 years has been, it's charmed. It always turns out good. And that doesn't turn out good because of my magical touch. It turns out good because I am where I'm supposed to be. And it put it in the hands of some other people who've done some really amazing things to cover up for a lot of the things that I don't do so amazing.
Just to follow up on, you mentioned hell no, wouldn't even think about opting out with this culture. I was just curious, did you kind of meet with the leadership group on this team to kind of get where their head is at? And I guess just kind of bigger picture, as a competitor and a coach, what do you think of kind of the culture where so many teams are opting out?
Yeah.
15 practices.
So it happened really fast here. You know, Brian Blair was able to, let me know that I would be the interim, and of course we have anybody on our staff could do this, and do it really well. And like I said, now once we got through some really rocky waters, what's not rocky waters for the players? Go across the white lines and go play football, right? And that's where it might be a rock concert, chaotic world there, but that's calm for them. That's peace for them, So to get to there and to do that, I think is really an opportunity. Now, tell me the exact question again.
Did you meet with the leadership group?
Okay, yeah. So that part, right. So after it happened with Brian, I couldn't say anything for a period of time because it's just, in today's day and age, how this information gets released and things like that. So I really didn't. I didn't tell anybody. Two people I told that I kind of trust to keep it a secret. My Tanya, who I've been with for 20 plus years now, and my mom, Carol Weiner, who I've been with for 61 years. Now my mom, she's the shifty one. You got to be careful because she makes a comment on everything that's on social media and sends back good wishes. And sometimes I'm like, Mom, you really probably shouldn't say, you had good intentions there. But so she promised to keep it a secret. So I couldn't really, I did need, when I came in the morning, I did need to start working on some things. So I kind of had my GA, Kyle Hazel, who's amazing, and our offensive line GA, Nick Rossi. I had them come in and just put them to assignments to help me that they were like, what are we doing this for? And I'm like, just do it. I'll tell you at 3:30, which of course they knew at that point what it was.
Just kind of with the broader culture, what's kind of your thought as a competitor and coach, all the teams that kind of do opt out?
Yeah, I think it's hard to speak to what everybody else's situation is, but I think you're talking about, and I know you are, just the big picture of how this is going in sports and things of that sort. And I think it's sad because we get to the point where we're looking at football as only a means to a financial end. And for so many millions and millions and millions of people, it's not. There's not a payday at the end of it. And I tried to invoke in our young people the other day that this game is not about where are you going to be next? This game is about 17 years ago when you picked up a ball and you threw it to your dad or your mom or your aunt or your grandma in your crib, and you looked at your hand and you were like, whoa, that was super cool. Like, I want to do that for the rest of my life. And that's the game that you love. Like, it's in your heart, like football. Football is the vehicle to all the things that you can learn about life to get you ready for the next chapter of those things that mean something. So I think it's sad. I think it's sad that so many people who may not be an NFL prospect, and even on these big teams, like big teams, yeah, you got 5 or 6 NFL prospects, but you have 20 other seniors who they thought they were going to play their last game, and now they realize they already played their last game. And I think, like, man, all of those things that are corny about football are actually very real. Like, you know, Kenny Chesney, Boys of Fall, it's actually real. Like, you walk off that football field for the last time, like, what a feeling of fulfillment and a feeling of emptiness at the same time. And if you can live life like that, something has carved its way into you so deeply that it means so much to you that those are the experiences that mark your whole life. Those are the experiences that make you who you are in the next chapter. And I just think it's sad we've reached a point where those people would make decisions that those things would be taken away.
With so much in flux over the last 48 hours, is there a little bit of a benefit, a relief of knowing that you're playing in 2 weeks and 1 day that allows the players to get laser focused on Louisville and not necessarily having to worry about retention and other things like that?
Yeah, it's a great question because there's actually a lot of relief. Like so many things in the college football world. What the college football world, and to follow up really to add into the previous question, the college football world is really a calendar problem, right? Like all of these things are navigate each one of them individually, but it's really a calendar problem. Like how do you match those things up with the academic world that, like, it's college football, like you're going to college, like you have to match it up with the academic world, and that's where it really becomes difficult in matching those things up, right? So I think like when you do that, but for us, to answer your question, it really was perfectly timed, right? Like, I mean, you know, and Jason, you know, have amazing opportunity and do incredible things going forward. I mean, I'm forever indebted to that man, and that man's family to me. But the timing for our guys here, like, they really can't do anything. They can't do anything else for these 2 weeks. Like, they can't go to another school right now. They could get ready to or something like that. They can't go to the NFL right now, you know? And for our guys, those guys who have a chance to go to the NFL, this is the best opportunity to showcase who you are. This is better than any combine. We're going to be on national TV. We're going to be against a national opponent. Like, they're going to want to see how do you play against these people who are actually going to play in the NFL. So here's how you see it. You may not see it week in and week out for us, but you're going to see it in a game like this. So I think like the timing of this actually was really good. I think it's kind of easy for the young men to kind of talk amongst themselves and sell it to each other that, like, I know everybody says knee-jerk, like, do something, like, right now I got to go, but take a breath and realize, like, I'm actually in a little cocoon here. I'm in a college football cocoon that I can do what I have to do to fulfill my promise to this team and then see what happens there in the future.
Have you had a chance yet to think through the staff, play calling, who's going to take over defensively?
Yeah, we definitely like put that in place right away. And I think the biggest thing for the guys in getting everybody back together was for them to know what the football plan is, you know. And Mike Hallett's going to call the plays on offense, you know, and he and I have shared co-offensive coordinator duties the last couple years. But always, truth be told, Jason Kendall was the coordinator here. Like, Jason Kendall called the plays, and you know, we all together sat in game planning every week and put that together. But Mike Hallett's got 10 plus years of experience here, and so he's not like we're not changing the offense for the bowl game. And Mike Hallett's got experience as a play caller and as a head coach before as well, so he'll do a tremendous job with that. And then Perry Eliano will call it on defense, and of course he'll have help. We have our former player Dan Bolden, who's be coaching the linebackers and taking over for VK, who obviously will go down as legendary here for his amazing defense that we've enjoyed for the past couple of years. And so that'll be, get some input from Dan, who is actually a player, on kind of front seven stuff. And of course we have Troy Lewis up front with the defensive line, and they'll do a tremendous job with that. But Perry will be calling the defense for us, Coach Eliano, and of course he's had experience across the board and our conferences and Power Four conferences as a position coach, as a coordinator, calling plays, and we are truly, truly blessed for that. And so I think on both sides of the ball, I feel the staff gets stretched a little bit in this part, but I feel also like, Jason Candle is also, I don't know who he's decided, if part of the staff will go with him or not, or things like that, but he's really decided that from his angle, he is going to finish what he started for the Toledo Rockets the best he possibly can, and nobody is forced to go anywhere else. Those guys are staying in place and finishing this chapter with the Rockets.
Finally, Power Four opponent. You guys, the Rockets have had success against Power Four schools, obviously 2 wins last year. Do you rely on that experience? What is it about going up against Power Four schools that has allowed them to be successful in the past?
Yeah, I think the great thing for us, and I think that both Chip and Chris can speak to this when they get up here. I think the great thing for us is that the Power Four school thing has been normalized for us. Like, such a great job of us having an opportunity to do that every year in the scheduling. But I don't think we really go into the game thinking like, okay, we're the little engine that could, and and there's the big shiny train. Like, I think we just see it as a really tough challenge. Like, it's a really good football team, and so I don't think we're enamored with those things at all. I do think sometimes it even helps us. Like, if it's a game versus stars, they win it. But if it's a game versus young men, then hopefully not. We'll see what the result is. And I think you don't play the game with stars, you play the game with players. And I know we got some here, and you're going to meet a couple in a minute, but I know we got some who are not only really, really talented football players, but have some real grit in them that's going to be what it takes to win a game against a really, really, really challenging Power Four opponent. This is not just a Power Four opponent, it's a really good opponent. So it's going to be a real challenge for us.